I am in Kentucky, and I am doing a long distance ride here. I noticed when I went to take a picture of my second gas receipt, because the sun was up, I couldn't really see the odometer very well. So hopefully they'll be able to see it when I print it off and send it in. And I'm going from Tennessee up to, up through Kentucky and Indiana, up into Michigan, and going up the middle of Michigan across the Mackinac Bridge, and then around Highway 2, and get over that way somewhere. I tried to turn on the camera earlier because I was going through some real pretty views, but it wouldn't turn on, and I was messing with traffic, and I didn't want to mess around with it too much. It's like traffic is moving along pretty good. But the traffic's been flowing pretty decently. I left a couple hours later than what I was hoping to leave, but I've been doing pretty good on time though, so. It's really pretty out here. I wish y'all could be on this ride with me. It's absolutely beautiful. And I don't know if you can hear me because I think my microphone slid a little farther down. I can feel it hitting my chin, so I don't know if you can even hear me or not. I went through, I think I already went through the prettiest part of this road, or this interstate. I'm up on 65. Put on some Viking bags, and the one wouldn't latch, and I called them, and they were supposed to call me back. This was last, that was a nice bump. This was last Tuesday. Today's Thursday, and when I talked to the guy, he said, I had to send him a video. And that's really fun to try and upload a video on your cell phone. But I sent them the video they requested, and he took a look at it and said, yeah. He said, I'll have to show it to the repair department or whatever else, whatever he said it was. And he said he'd call me back within 45 minutes to an hour to let me know what they were going to be able to do. And he didn't call me back Tuesday, and he didn't call me back Wednesday. So it looks like I'm going to have to try and call them sometime today and take time off of my trip. And last time I called them, I kid you not, they had me on hold for over 17 minutes before he even picked up the phone. And when he was talking to me, there's this long delay. And what the delay is, I finally, I thought they were in a different part of the world, and he told me that the delay is actually that they're doing not just my call, but they're answering help stuff for people who are, using the online help on their website or the chat or whatever. And so he's sitting there communicating with other people, and I don't know how many at the same time. And I know that some people call that multitasking, and they look at, get people to do more than one thing at the same time so they're not wasting time. Well, the only thing is that it wastes my time, because I've got to sit there and wait for him to answer every time. I feel like I get like we got disconnected because it was really long pauses, and it gets to be kind of irritating. So if they do something to make this saddlebag situation right, that'll make my day. But I hate that I have to go through this. He should have called me back like he said the other day and never did. But such is life. And because the thing wouldn't latch, I had to bring my batteries and my drone and stuff like that with me on this trip. And the one bag that won't latch, I put stuff in there that's not like super important, like my rain gear and some stuff like that. But anyway, so I was going through Kentucky and hitting bumps, and those bumps about knock your fillings out of your teeth, and I didn't realize that it flipped open the saddlebag. And when I finally stopped to get gas, I saw my shadow and I saw the top of the thing open, and I'm like, oh man. And I knew better, man. I knew better, but I put one of my favorite hats in that saddlebag, figuring, you know, it's not going to open or blow open. I mean, you know, but the bumps were so bad and it wouldn't latch that it popped it open and out went my hat. So there goes my favorite Tail of the Dragon hat. Oh well, I guess now I got an excuse when I get back home to Tennessee. I got an excuse to take a ride out to you know, out by the Tail of the Dragon. It's about a 3-hour ride from my house. Usually when I go out there, I just do it for the day. I ride out there, take 3 hours. I take 3 hours to go out there and ride across a time or two and take a nice, you know, scenic way back home. Well, hey, Motor Warriors. Just an update here. I'm coming into Louisville, Kentucky. You can see the skyline off in the distance. But you can tell you're coming into a bigger city though, because one, the roads are all of a sudden jumpy and whatever again, and more potholes, and there is a lot more traffic. I lost a lot of it back there. A bunch of people must have turned off, you know, back in there. But I love these signs. It says buckle up in vehicle, mask up in public. I've been seeing those all in Kentucky here. It's kind of funny. Louisville, look at that. That's a weird looking church. But this is it. Interesting architecture. If I had time, I wouldn't mind hanging around and looking at some of these old buildings and stuff. But I'm really trying to make some time here. And I'm heading up next to Indianapolis, where it was one of my graduate professors that was on my committee for my thesis research. He used to, oh, man, nice bump. He used to call it Indianopolis, because that's where he's from, is Indianapolis, and he'd always call it Indianopolis. There's the train track over there, and to the left is the bridge coming at you, and this is the bridge going away. This is when we're going over. Interesting bridge, eh? I forget what water this is. I'd have to check it out. If I put this part in the video, I'll put it in there what it is. I just don't remember off the top of my head. Well, I'd like to go fishing out there. There's some waves out there though. Lake Michigan is pretty big. It's kind of like a sea. There's actually been ships that have been sunk because of bad storms and stuff in Lake Michigan. That's how big it is. There's probably a bunch of boats sunk out there somewhere. It's pretty big. So are all of what we call Great Lakes for my subscribers in other countries. We have this area of the country has what's called the Great Lakes. There's Lake Michigan, which is what this one is, and of course it's like right next to Michigan, and this is the upper peninsula of Michigan, and on the other side is Wisconsin, and then there's Lake Erie, Lake Superior, Lake Ontario. So if you're interested and you're from another country and you've never heard of the Great Lakes, you can look it up. But there's a lot of sand up in here. That's there was a sign back there that said watch for sand all over the road or whatever, and you can see that's all raked up sand. That's probably what they pulled up from the water at some point, I don't know, but there's sand on this side too, so who knows. I've been on Highway 2 here before. It's just been a while. I wish it was daytime so we could see better. But anyway, so that's where I'm at. I'm on Highway 2 going across the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Beautiful sunset. I bet it'd be pretty to be out in the boat down there. Alright, well, I don't know how much you're going to see in the dark anyway, so I'm going to turn this off. But look at the sunset if you can see it. Yeah, I love going this fast when there's deer and stuff out. I already saw a bunch of deer run across the road coming across the UP. At least I think they were deer. They could have been elk. I don't know. Well, you know, they were awful big, whatever they were. And I only noticed them because the guy coming towards me slowed down and I could see a huge reflection, or you know, like silhouettes across his headlights. So I slowed way down. But that says Peshtigo. And one of these days I'll have to do a video and tell you about something that my great grandmother survived the Peshtigo fire. And I'll have to tell you about that, but right now I need to watch for deer and I'm freezing. I left the house this morning and at, I don't know, like 4:30ish, something, whatever it was, and got to the first gas stop at like 5 o'clock, and it was 81 degrees and humid, and I almost didn't bring a jacket, or I was going to bring a lighter jacket. Man, now up here, way up north like this, it's like, it feels like it's October. It's cold. I'm like really cold. I mean really cold. I wish I'd have brought better gloves. But anyway, that's that. We'll share that another time, but I'm going to turn this off for now.